Hello. Oh, I think I'm already live. So since I'm doing this for the first time, I could not. I was like, as I'm talking on a like same face to face. So I'll just coordinator Jen V. Sita Maria is watching. Okay, so there is someone. So I'll just introduce myself for those who don't know me. I'm Shyamali. I'm from 4th batch Jen V. Sita Marie, and I'll just tell about what I have done till now so that you can just get an idea about what pharmacy is and all. I've done my till 10th standard. I've done from JNV Sita Marie. After that, I've moved on to I've done my 12th standard from DAV Public School BSCB Patna. After that, I have done B Farm from Manipal University, and there I have just like from after that I've moved on to MS like MS Farm it is called from a prestigious institute called as NIPER, which is National Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research. So I'll just brief on to two, three points. First, I'll discuss about the courses involved in pharmacy. Then I'll go to the career prospects and sum up there. The courses that are involved in this pharmacy is first basic when you after 12th 10 plus 2 you have to yeah, the first thing is like D Pharm, which is called as Diploma in Pharmacy. There, physics, chemistry, and mathematics or biology, whichever you want, you can have. Which then after Diploma in Pharmacy, there is another level of called as Bachelor in Pharmacy. But for Bachelor of Pharmacy, you need your biology is a must in 10 plus 2. Gotham is watching, bring them on camera. So I think go live with Gotham Kumar. Invite. Do I have to do anything? It's watching. Gotham, shall I continue? Are you all watching me? Receive invite to join your broadcast. Add. Gotham, if you can just tell me like when to start. Okay. Thank you. The next thing is after this B Farm, as I told, this bachelor's of pharmacy, you are required biology in your 10 plus 2. The next, if you go for after this B Farm, there is masters in pharmacy. For that, like you need to complete your B Farm. After that, you can go for M Farm. And there are a few only the Sniper offers this MS Farm, which is equivalent to the degrees offered, master's degree offered abroad. Uh, in pharma, if you are going through all these phases, there is a certain level, like at certain point of time, PhD is also PhD is also preferred course. So after this MPharm, people go for PhD and then for postdoc. So it's a long list of study you have to complete in your throughout the career. But apart from these, there is a different, it has been recently introduced in 2008, where it is called as Farm D. In that Farm D, this after this 10 plus 2, you go for D Farm. D Farm, after that, you can go for Farm D, which is a 6 years course. And in the 6 years, you go for 5 years classroom course, as well as 1 year is for this clinical practice, and in you work in a hospital, or and then you have to go around working for a clinical. This is more of a clinical practice, which is equivalent to even MD, as they say. So, which is called as Doctor of Pharmacy. and which is equivalent to PhD and MD in medicine also. So then that is like after this B Farm also you can go for PharmD, which is called as post baccalaureate. So this is what like all the courses I have just briefed out. Apart from these, if you go for like this is all about the courses that pharma courses. Then if you go for this prospects, so first I'll talk about the D Farm. So those who are doing D Farm, they are given like diploma in pharmacy. So after that diploma in pharmacy, you are eligible for the jobs of a pharmacist. It is called as pharmacist or assistant pharmacist. This pharmacists are like their major role is dispensing and prescription handling. So they are mostly responsible for like dispensing of medication, patient counseling. So most of the like hospitals or where there is a free medicine places, so there the pharmacists are employed. Also there are medical stores at such. So even those people are they get registered with the Pharmacy Council of India, and they can open their own pharmacy stores, which more often in Bihar, it is like anyone opens up, but that is not actually practice. Like that should not be the practice. The actual practice is you should have a D Farm at least, and then only based on your registration and your license, you can open up a pharmacy store. Uh, which is like I seriously feel in like Bihar, if you say that is a mishandling that people are doing, that anyone can open a pharmacy store and like they'll just take a license on rent or something. They'll just pay something to them, and they can work on. He need not come to the pharmacy anytime, but that should not be the correct practice. As per the rule, there should be a pharmacist every time at a pharmacy store, so that he can just check like how the medicines are being dispensed to the patient correctly. There is a which is very serious thing for the job of a pharmacist, which is not actually practiced in India. Abroad, if like outside, if you go, this pharmacist is a very prestigious thing, and it is very much respected also, and people do take it very seriously. So this is about like a pharmacist. There are government posts also, which like if you see the salary part also for government jobs as a pharmacist, that is quite respectable. But apart from that, like if I say for normal pharmacy stores, it's not that much alluring. But for government practices, it is very it is a respectable thing. So I talked about this D Farm. So D Farm is basically about this pharmacy stores and dispensing of medicines. Next thing as I go on to is like this after B Farm. So after B Farm, there are some three, four different things that you can do. But like people most preferably in all the pharma sector after this B Farm, people go on to M Farm for getting a better scope. But then like if you see after B Farm, it is three, four different things that you can do. Is first thing is mostly people come for this marketing jobs. So this marketing, again, it is for medical representative, which again, if I say in our a place like Bihar, so people are like anyone can be a medical representative, but they will not have that technical hold on that. And their growth, if you see as per growth, it will be limited. But if you have a pharma degree, you can at least add some technical skills to it, and then based on that, you can like there is no limitation. Even I have seen my friends like they are just having very good career after this marketing also. So they are doing it very well, and they are having very handsome salary also. So this after this as a medical representative, and then you go for production as in the manufacturing unit. There are a number of manufacturing unit across the country. So in that production you can go. Then third thing comes is quality assurance and quality control, which is every pharma company, they require a quality analyst. So that is also very good after this B Farm. So these three things are majorly seen. But nowadays there have been introduction of some new prospects, like which is called as medical writing, pharmacovigilance. So and there are also like some BPOs and KPOs who are hiring this BPharm candidates after this 4-year graduation. So these three, this is a new introduction right now, if I say. But mostly what I have seen is like people do prefer to go for a master's. So even I was the one, like we like after B Farm we could not stop. We had chosen to go for masters. So if you go for masters, there is another like level of like you have to go for another 2 years of study, in which first thing is if you get after this B Farm, if you go for a like a GPAT. Similarly, like GATE is there. So for pharmacy, it is GPAT, called as Graduate Pharmacy Aptitude Test. If you clear that GPAT, you have your scope opens for some prestigious institutes like NIPER. NIPER is there. GPAT is for like you can get the stipend based on that. So as similarly as GATE is there, but then like many institutions ask for the GPAT score before application also. So you need to give your GPAT score for application. So that is like very much required, and if you need to clear GPAT with a good score also. So that is one thing. Next, if you get a GPAT score, after that again you have to few institutes like BHU and all, they take it based on the GPAT scores only. So starting 100 scores or 150 scores, you can directly apply for this like BHU is there, then BIT Meshra is there. So based on that, like GPAT scores, they directly call for interviews, and they'll select candidates for admission. Based on this GPAT, you get a stipend there. That is like at my time it was approximately 8,000 rupees. I'm not very sure how much it is right now. You get like you get paid while doing your studies. Then after this GPAT, for what I have done is like you have to write another, like few institutes are which take examination separately. Like this for I have done for NIPER, which is called as National Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research. So that particularly takes a separate test, and which is a very much like people are crazy about it. So they do a lot of study and they prepare for it separately. So based on if you get into NIPER, so mostly it is there in NIPER Mohali. So that is the like best institute as far as it is concerned. So NIPER Mohali, they take a separate test, and based on their rank list and GPAT scores, they will select their candidates. They offer 3-4 different streams. Like all the streams are there in NIPER Mohali, but other than that, there are different NIPERs across the country. I think right now it is 7 NIPERs across the country, which offers their courses are limited. Like if I say for NIPER Hyderabad, they offer limited courses in medicinal chemistry, pharmacology, pharmaceutics, etc. So I have done from NIPER Raebareli. I've done a medicinal chemistry course from there. So after doing this, this is more research based, like research orientation is there from the if you do a course from NIPER as such. So they are more and more research oriented. So even they have appointed one mentor institute for their students. So they are mostly the like countries research institution organizations. So who directly monitors and they directly guide these students. So if I say I was there in NIPER Raebareli. NIPER Raebareli, our mentor institute was CDRI, which is Central Drug Research Institute, Lucknow. So they were our mentor institute, and they were directly monitoring all the like curriculum, and even like 1 year was classroom based study. So in that all those scientists and from CDRI, they used to come and take our courses. After that 1 year you spend there in CDRI itself, and there you have to go for a 1 year research project. So under those scientists, you are doing the really so there it's just a beginning for research, if you say. So based on that, like just we have done a lot of research projects there, and that was a simple in as far as pharma sector is concerned, and that will never stop because the healthcare industry in this in our country is like mostly it is focused a lot. And last time also I've heard, like I've just I was listening to it was quite impressive, and he also has whether the funding is there or not. So I feel there is a lot of funds being on the other hand, I do feel that that is not being utilized properly because most of us, like even I'll say for myself also, we seriously don't have that passion and that energy for that discovering something and that innovation kind of thing. So that like usually what I there also like all of them whether like MSc students also do their research for in that institutes, but mostly people are doing it just for the sake of doing it, for getting a PhD degree, or you say just it feels good that yes, I'm a PhD. So it's just like it is to show someone that yes, I've done a PhD. But nothing of that sort is being invented right now. So even I felt so bad that you're just taking reagents, you're mixing, and you're throwing in the basin, and at the end of the day there is nothing, no result. Actually you just get something new, some different thing you just add, you make a paper and you publish it, and you just I feel that there should be something target based research in the country, which is if government is spending so much, they should ask them like why, where is the result? Because I feel like if I say about the CDRI, it was like it is from last 50 years. I think this is going to be a bit more controversial, but then the fact is this, like it is for 50 years, and out of 50 years, like you have just invented one single molecule. That too is not of that much importance. It is like every day we are doing it, but no such a strong thing is coming out of it. But still, we are spending so much of money, and we are just presenting some papers. So that was a bit thing. Like I felt like, shall I continue with this research thing or not? Because at the end of the day, I have to give something back. Because otherwise it is of no use, and so that is but the part, but all the, if I go for the pharma industry also, so this is one major thing that has to go on. At least of course we cannot leave that part, so we have to move on, and then we have to keep trying. At least that's what I can say. So we have to keep trying, and there is a lot of funds being invested in drug discovery thing. So if you see like across the country, India only, if I talk, there are so many institutions doing this drug discovery thing. There are n number of molecules being identified out of so many research projects. But if you see like out of many some few if I say for 1 year, there are some 20 to 30 molecules which are selected as if I say for new molecule entity, it is called as so if it is identified for 20 molecules are only identified as a like solid thing, that yes, it can be a potential drug. After that, it goes into a series of clinical trials, and then they are like in human beings. It has been it has to be checked, like if it is acting, if it is giving any potential like it is giving any indication, it can be used for any particular indications or not. So after those things only, like rarely one or two molecules gets approved across the globe. If I talk not only for India, across the globe, only a few molecules are approved. Once it gets approved, it is like they thing, and this patent if they get, so that from there they can make their money, whichever whatever they have invested in their research thing, so they will get it out of this patent thing. So nowadays, if I say, like almost, if you see, now the pharma sector is moving more and more and more to generic prescriptions. Even the Prime Minister is focusing more on generic prescriptions. They have been asking doctors to write more and more generic prescriptions, but that is there is like there again, this is a very controversial topic, and there it is a debatable thing, so I shall not give any instance on that. But generic, it is for the benefit of the poor patients. So right now whatever we are also working is for the benefit of poor patients. The brand thing, it is like hugely it becomes so costly, and so there is a cost difference which benefits the patient. So I was talking about the career prospects more, and so I just went out into the pharma sector thing. So after this PhD, like here a PhD is a must, not must, but people prefer a PhD thing, a PhD part. So for this PhD, next on goes on to, as I told previously also, that manufacturing and production. So there, mostly people after B Farm, they go on to B production and manufacturing. So there, they can like work in the pharma companies where like they have to manufacture the active pharmaceutical ingredient they call, and they have a set of standard SOPs which they have to follow, and they have to like develop the medicines, the drugs that they have been given to do in manufacture. So based on that, like that is that part comes as manufacturing. Then it goes to like quality assurance and quality testing, which has to there they have to check for the parameters and the standards that they have been given for this that particular medicines. Like it is for hardness and the color. Everything has to be tested before it is being sent for packaging, and like all the like packaging is done, and then it is sent into the market. So there the next thing comes is marketing. So then like whatever mostly today in the today's scenario, they are doing it a third party manufacturing. So all the leading companies, they are not manufacturing it themselves. They are getting it manufactured through a third party manufacturers. From there, they are branding it, and then they are spending a lot of amount, lot of money in that, and they are supposed to make money out of it after this marketing. So mostly they are focusing on marketing part, so that like as if marketing is there, the medicine it will automatically go, because there it is there in our mindset also. If I say for generic and brand, like mostly people give an example for this crocin and paracetamol only. So crocin is a branded thing. Even like paracetamol, that same we have seen at times, like that same paracetamol, the manufacturer itself has made their own generic thing, but people will only ask for crocin. They'll not go for this paracetamol which is manufactured by the same company. So this is the difference right now, but then the scenario is going to change coming time. People they are going to they are like understanding things, and now they are getting smart. So they are just like moving on to generics right now. So if I say this generic market is growing right now. So next, after this manufacturing and production, next thing comes to like as I told, marketing. So this marketing is like after B Farm, mostly people go for it, and then this marketing, like there is medical representative, and the other thing is like called as product management team. So in this product management team, either you have a good experience as a medical representative, then you can join the product management team, or else after masters, if you have an MBA additionally to B Farm. So B Farm plus MBA is mostly preferred for this product management team. And even like there is called Farm MBA. So after that, like after having these two, these are preferred for product management team. In that, like if you go, there are good like product manager, So there is a separate hierarchy, and it goes on to like marketing. Their life is like very cool. They are just roaming around. They are having good perks and so that thing is also good on another hand. Next, as I told, there is like intellectual property rights, right? Inventing, like if it has already been published or not. So this comes under intellectual property rights. So these people are there are patent agents, they are patent engineers who like try to keep on finding on like the recent inventions. They keep on updating themselves, and like if you give a application to them, they will just find out like across the globe if it has been invented previously or not. Is there any organization which approve new medicines? Yeah, of course there are. Like for approval, there is like a big thing. It is not like in one country also you cannot get approval. It has to get like a global approval. FDA is one like such organization. Like there are different, as I told, like the FDA is the biggest, like highest, if I say. So FDA is there, and what are the posts available for graduates of pharma in government sector, and through which exams? If you say for available for graduates of pharma, as I told this, like first thing, not for diploma in pharmacy, then you can go for like pharmacist post. So there also like some are examination. You have to write examination there for CGHS, like central government health scheme is there. So there they have their own dispensaries for which they have to write an exam, and then only they will like shortlist people for the post of pharmacist. Then after B Farm, if you say like most alluring thing is like drug inspector, and recently there are like it has been given as assistant drug inspectors also. So that drug inspector is a like you have to write an exam for that. There are different vacancies coming in. So from like central government side also there is an examination. Then even the state governments put their examinations. They based on the vacancies, based on vacancy they float advertisements, and on that based on that advertisements you have to apply. But there for this drug inspector mostly they require this experience, hands-on experience. You have to give some 18 months experience they require, either in manufacturing setups or in regulatory experience, like that I told, like quality assurance and quality control. So those experience are preferred if you go for this drug inspector post, and that is like a very prestigious. You issue licenses, like you have a lot of power there, but that is being a bit more influenced also. So that was my point. I could not I didn't go for it because I was a bit more like I could not handle that pressure. So that is one more exam, if I say. Apart from that, like if I say, if as I have done is like I'm working for a PSU company, which is like semi government, if you can say, which is a farm like public sector undertaking under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So we are actually working for Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So there also I had to write an exam, and we had to face two sets of interviews. So that was basically for the post of management trainee. So they are hiring management trainees, and they're like deputy managers and assistant managers. There are different posts, other posts also are coming in. But this was an exam which we had to write, and this like comes mostly on a gap of 2 to 3 years. Based on the vacancy that they require, they float an advertisement, and that based on that they have to give an exam. So here mostly we are dealing with the projects which comes under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So they are just like we are their company. So whichever project it comes under them, so we are executing them on their behalf. So like right now they're working for many projects. So we are actually executing all those things. Please name of the best companies for career in pharma in India. So if you say about best companies for career in pharma, there are different sets, multinational companies and Indian companies. So if I say for multinational company, there is Pfizer, Abbott, which I think most of all of you must have heard of their name. So there is Pfizer is there, Novartis is there. Uh, Apart from that, like if you say about Indian company, there is like Cipla, Dr. Reddy's. Dr. Reddy's is very good based if you want for research and development also. So they are investing their money in research and development, and they do hire for R&D purpose also. So this R&D is there in Dr. Reddy's. Aurobindo Pharma is there. So there and this Cipla, Aurobindo, Lupin, Glenmark, these are mostly related to generic companies. So they are also very good, and you can trust them. Their name is also it is there in the market, so you can have a good career in all these companies. So if I say about like my friends and people who have completed their M.Pharm, so after this M.Pharm, everyone is getting a like good respectable salaries also, and working very having a very good career henceforth. So even after this M.Pharm, most of them has gone as a research scientist. So that sounds great at times. So as a research scientist, if you join, so that is also a very promising career. After this PhD, like again, after this 5 years of your career, you go for a postdoc. Postdoc across, like you do it in India or you go abroad. Mostly they get postdoc careers abroad. So there they are getting a very handsome salary, and they get it paid really nice, and you have a very good impact on your research career also. So after this, if you get a postdoc, you can apply for a post of scientist. That scientist you can apply across major research institutes across the country. As I told, like CDRI is one of them. Uh, this postdoc is required for getting a scientist post in government institutions. Apart from that, like if you go into R&D companies like Novartis, Dr. Reddy's, after M.Pharm also you can get the post of scientist. But for government, if you want organization, you have to go for a postdoc. It seems like it is preferable postdoc. So I think I have covered the courses I've told. I think I've talked about PharmD. Yeah, PharmD is like I've covered. So PharmD is also very promising course if you go for pharmacy as a career after 12th. So this is what I wanted to say about pharmacy as a career. One more thing I just wanted to add to all my people, like which is something which makes me very sad. Like when I see times, like people back in our place, we have at that time we have so much craze about being a doctor or being an engineer, and then we have many people spend a lot of their years, like 4 years, 5 years, we spend preparing for one course. So what I feel is like that is totally my point. I am not saying anyone to change their mind, but I just want to communicate because that is very precious. Like these are very precious years of your life. So I think there are like if you just judge yourself, like 1 or 2 years is more than enough to judge yourself. If you feel that you can do it, you surely continue, but you judge yourself a bit. And like if it is not the end of your life, you can have n number of courses across. So is pharma course cheaper in comparison to MBBS? Yes, of course, it is very cheaper as compared to MBBS. So, if you see, if you go in a private institution also, so if MBBS course is say for 1 year, it is for 5 lakh rupees. So, pharma will be around 1 to 1.5 lakh. So, it is obviously very cheaper as compared to MBBS. So, it ranges like if you go for pharma, then it is dental and then MBBS. So, it goes like that. So, obviously, it is very cheaper as compared to that. Then one more thing I just wanted to ask, like there are n number of options across. So you just move on and then you'll find your way out, and you'll obviously do great things in life. So just that is one thing. You just judge yourself and move ahead. So this is the dilemma of, I think, most of the biology students who are doing taking after 10 plus 2. They need to decide like what to do. I'm going for a preparation for MBBS. They waste some 2 to 3 years of their life, and then they start searching for something like what next. So then they go for finding out this biotechnology, this MBBA, like pharmacy or bioinformatics, and there are like two, three, then MSc, BSc, and MSc is of course there. So that thing is one important thing that I wanted to add. So just that 2 years of your life matters a lot. So utilize it and move ahead, because I think that was the biggest suggestion I gave to my siblings. So it was like, just move on and find out there are more and more better options across. So that is one part. I think I've answered most of the questions. Please name, what are the premier institutes? What are the premier institutes for research? If you ask for institutes for research, I told like this in pharma sector, mostly it is Sniper, as I told. This is National Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, and Mohali is the best as on date. So Sniper Mohali. So from there, I have seen all of them are doing so good. Like in their 2 years masters, they have done so good. After that, they have considered and PhD, and that degree is very much acceptable across the globe also. So outside like country also, they are very much accepted, and they are doing really, really great. Their research projects are also being recognized in very good journals and things as on date. So that is one. Apart from that, there is BITS Pilani. That is also a very much research oriented institute. Apart from that, BIT Meshra is also there in that is also focusing on research. I think then there are a few more in South where they're focusing more on more research. But apart from this, like these are major, and there is DIPSAR is there in Delhi, which is Delhi Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research. So that is also a good institute if you go. I think that is clear. So I hope I have covered my points, and all the questions have also been answered. So I just like to thank JNV Alumni Association for giving me this opportunity. And one more thing that I was just when I got a call and they just asked like they want a motivation for the ladies, for the girls. So I'm just like, there is no separate thing for girls. Everyone is like having a very good career right now, and I'm very much like, I feel so proud when I go back and see like our videos and our people right now. So I'm very much proud of all those people, and this alumni association, even they are doing so great. I was not like, I'll get a message just 15 minutes prior to this session. So it is being managed very nicely, and thanks to all of you. I think, is it necessary to have a graduate degree in pharma for career in it? And can we do M Pharma without doing B Pharma? No, I don't think that is possible. That is not possible. You cannot do an M Pharm without B Pharm. You have to do a B Pharm, then only you can go for M Pharm. I told, like D farm is there, then B farm, then M farm. D farm, if you do D farm, you get a lateral entry in B farm. As similarly, I think there is in engineering also. So similarly, like if you have done D farm, you can get a lateral entry in second year of B farm. But M farm, you require this B farm because that is Masters of Pharmacy. You need a pharmacy background in that. And even as I told, like Doctor of Pharmacy, which is Pharm D, that also requires a pharmacy background. So if you have done 10 plus 2 with physics, chemistry, and mathematics, you can go for D Pharm. And then you have a basics of pharmacy there, and from there you can go for this Pharm D, that is called as Doctor of Pharmacy, and even you can go for B Pharm. as a lateral entry. But I think in biology is not a compulsory thing in 10 plus 2. You can go either ways, but this B farm is required for M farm. Bring them on camera. Okay. Okay. So I think I have dealt with most of the points. Is there anything else that I need to say? Okay, I think it's enough. I'll just sum it up. Thank you so much. Thank you all for watching me. Shall I end? Okay. Bye bye.